Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Pissed conservative has had enough, puts up huge billboard to finally end liberals' big lie. The way free speech and capitalism works in America is that anyone willing to pay top dollar for a sign can do so and apparently make it say whatever they want to get their point across. This seems to be the case a lot lately, with Muslims in Florida putting their billboard up to mock our president and push Islam on innocent passersby. However, a new trend in signage from private citizens is starting to emerge, as seen in Indiana and now in the great state of Texas. When certain drivers see what it says, it's only a matter of time before a civil war erupts. A war of words has started, with a number of signs popping up across the country from different people with very different opinions that are raising tensions and potential cases of road rage among Muslims and liberals. It's fair to say that the latest sign in the San Antonio area has trumped them all with the specific message it portrays that someone needed to say, and we can thank Kyle Courtney for being bold enough to do so. It doesn't take much to rile up the volatile left, which is why they're likely to go to war over a few words on a billboard. If they can't stand the heat, then maybe they shouldn't have supported Muslims' rights to put up signs that push Islam in America where it doesn't belong. Two can play at that game, and Courtney just proved that with his well-played, pro-Trump billboard with a big conservative message that's infuriating liberals. See current reports. Bernie resident Kyle Courtney apparently has some beef with ABC News and how they've reported on President Donald Trump. So much beef that he bought a large billboard ad to make public his fed-upness, reading, "I grew up with you. We are through. The Russians didn't elect Donald Trump. I did." The billboard is located on I-10 and Buckskin Drive and, as reported by News Forza, will be up for about 2 months. While there were a lot of people who appreciated the sentiment Courtney shared in the conservative state, there were some leftist detractors who didn't like what he had to say. Courtney elaborated more on what drove him to make this message in a statement made to News 4 San Antonio. ABC News was the only channel I watched as a child growing up in Texas, but I think they have lost touch with America and forgotten the working man. They don't represent our voice anymore. Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign was funded by the Clinton Foundation in close coordination with the media, and now we're seeing them try to fix what they couldn't fix during the election. They are doing everything they can, night after night, to create narratives and sway people's direction to impeach Donald Trump. Our democracy is at stake when a major political party and the media are in bed together. I'm not asking anyone to boycott the Democratic Party. I'm not in the brainwashing business, but the liberal media is. Courtney paid for the sign himself, and a spokesman for his great American company, Wellstar Groundwater Technologies, told the news station that the billboard will be up for about 2 months. He may keep the sign up longer and switch the message to something new if he decides to do so, which we think would be a great idea. People need to see what he has to say to counter all the backhanded claims the mainstream media makes. We the people are fed up with the divisive and irresponsible rhetoric being fed to citizens in this great nation aimed to discredit our president. It's these kinds of messages that the media is pushing that's driving liberals over the edge to do crazy things like we saw at the congressional baseball practice. Trump isn't going anywhere, so the media needs to just get on board and accept that, or continue to see a decline of their ratings and reputation. The message that people aren't buying what the mainstream media is pushing on them anymore has never been more clear than it is now, with these counter billboards popping up all over the country. Another sign that recently appeared in Indiana effectively defeated Democrat and Muslims' lies about Islam. Freedom Daily previously reported about a truth jab made at Muslims' Prophet Muhammad being the perfect man. Not beating around the bush about the true meaning of Islam, the billboard crafted by the group Truthophobes hilariously mocks their Prophet Muhammad as the perfect man, where the gigantic billboard then lists at 6 truth-filled bullet points to describe him. The bullets include: married a 6-year-old, slave owner and dealer, rapist, beheaded 600 Jews in one day, 13 wives, 11 at one time, and tortured and killed unbelievers. Local Muslims instantly got their man dresses and burqas in a collective wad, predictably screaming that the creator of the billboard was a bigot. Conservatives have a right to free speech just as much as Muslims and liberals in America do, and it's awesome to see so many unafraid patriots using it now. The truth can and will be heard, and we can thank President Trump for opening that floodgate of honesty for us that Barack Obama had tried to lock down for years. Top secret war plan to totally destroy conservatives leaked. First steps worked, next is worse. As we have all clearly seen, the very day President Donald Trump was elected into office, the extreme left-wing activist group Media Matters and their cohorts in the Democrat Party, FBI and liberal mainstream media began an all-out effort to destroy conservatives. The founder of Media Matters even went as far as to lay out the details of their insidious plan in the 49-page Democracy Matters Plan for Strategic Action. But what he wasn't counting on was that his game plan would be leaked to the public. It's all starting to make sense now. Here is a summary of the 49-page plan via the stream. Beyond traditional free speech. The group will work with several partners. American Bridge 21st Century will provide research. Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, or CREW, is an ethics watchdog group similar to Judicial Watch. Share Blue is a social media firm. The plan describes Share Blue as the antidote to Breitbart. Conservative campaigns will be squashed, punished and halted. Media Matters intends to discredit right-wingers in all areas, from social media to the highest levels of government. They will identify and target a list of the individuals and outlets who are the most effective, which they refer to as destructive. The document promises, key right-wing targets will see their influence diminish. Media Matters and its partners will pressure Google and Facebook into banning right-leaning sites, which they refer to as fake news sites and propagandists. Conservative social media activism campaigns will be punished and halted. The group will develop new technologies to spot the early stages of articles they call fake news, which seems to mean articles they disagree with, and quash them. The group is amassing a huge army of hundreds of thousands of grassroots activists to achieve this. Share Blue increased viewers of its content by 50% since the first half of 2016. The group is training their supporters on Facebook to be more aggressive against the right. They will convince Google and Facebook to censor right-leaning websites and authors. Conservative campaigns will be squashed, punished and halted. Their digital space. They will ramp up their digital outreach. The plan admits that Trump won in part because Democrats got clobbered in the digital space. They will reach voters directly online. Share Blue will free ourselves from solely relying on the press. The plan intends to make Share Blue the #1 news outlet for the left. American Bridge is setting up a research portal on every topic for the media. The group is creating technology to automatically mine white nationalist message boards and alt-right communities. Media Matters uses the term alt-right to include both white nationalists and mainstream conservatives, even though they hold two separate philosophies. Major target, President Trump. A big part of the plan focuses on destroying President Donald Trump. They will delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency. If the American people re-elect him in the 2020 election, they will work to have Congress impeach him. Trump will be afflicted by a steady flow of damaging information, new revelations, and an inability to avoid conflicts issues. American Bridge will seek out people who know Trump but have turned on him. It will film their stories. CREW will look into Trump and his family's personal sides. They will try and find conflicts of interest. They will barrage him with public records requests. Share Blue will pressure Democrats to come after Trump more aggressively. It intends to target journalists who engage in even the slightest bit of normalization of Trump. Share Blue will build a proprietary algorithm that is specifically designed to amplify negative content for Trump. For example, the group will provide non-stop coverage of the influence of Vladimir Putin and Russia on Trump and his administration. The group will also spotlight the Trump administration's vast ties to white nationalists and the ways in which they explicitly empower white supremacy. Shara Blue claims credit for being the first to call out Trump's explicit strategy to foment a white nationalist uprising. Shara Blue added a new team that will focus on tracking news from Trump and calling it out as disinformation or fake news. Latest target, Sean Hannity. A couple of months ago, Media Matters started a campaign to stop businesses from advertising on talk show host Sean Hannity's TV and radio shows. It was mainly in retaliation for his coverage of the unsolved murder of former DNC staffer Seth Rich. The group was able to get a few advertisers to drop his show. After they started peeling away, Hannity stopped discussing the murder. But that wasn't enough for Media Matters. The group wants Fox News to fire Hannity. They're keeping up the barrage against him. Other targets. Others identified as targets include Vice President Mike Pence, the NRA, the Center for Medical Progress, Representative Duncan Hunter, Republican California, the Koch brothers and ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. Shara Blue, for example, will expose the insidious role of Mike Pence. They are also targeting many GOP governors, including Wisconsin's Scott Walker. They name some lower-level officials, including state legislators, county supervisors and lieutenant governors. Shara Blue boasts, Trump allies will be forced to step down or change course. The plan identifies its competitors on the right as Breitbart, the Media Research Center, Trump's Twitter account and his new Trump TV. Media Matters is ready to stop them. Pushback. The group is starting to have success. Hannity has not resumed talking about the Seth Rich murder. They claim credit for many other takedowns. They report success targeting the NRA, the Center for Medical Progress, and getting talk show host Glenn Beck kicked off his Fox News show and cable news. Shara Blue drove cries of sexism during last year's election in order to help Hillary Clinton. As you can clearly see in the document, Media Matters confirms they will push the fake Russia collusion narrative forward, as they have been for the past year, while at the same time working on stealing talent from other left-wing outlets and consolidating them into Shara Blue, which means they will all work together as a force. They will pay a Twitter-like social network for the opposition to collude, which they brand as the antidote to Breitbart, with their ultimate goal of controlling platforms like Google and Facebook, which they are already very close to accomplishing. The goal of all this is to keep President Trump unpopular by constantly trying to portray him as a weak, thin-skinned loser who is vulnerable to goading. This is a 3-year game plan that the left has been implementing to great effect in their effort to win votes in 2018 and take the White House in 2020. If you take into consideration that the document at one point mentions the transition of the Trump administration, it's safe to believe that this plan was indeed prepared after Donald Trump won the election in November of 2016 and before he actually took the oath of office in January of 2017.